Good afternoon, friends. Satyam Vada Dharmachara Satyamev Jayate. Welcome to today's news desk on income tax, GST, and corporate law. Let's start from the income tax. CBDT issued circular on 29 September. In this circular, no adjustment for discount of GST while calculating threshold limit under section 206 C1H. CBDT clarify in this circular and issued a detailed guideline for removing certain difficulties while complying provision relating to deduction of tax at source under section 194O and collection of the tax at source under section 206C1H. Both the sections are applicable with effect from 1st October 2020 today. Second, Karnataka High Court, Section 10A relief available if there was no need for full-fledged infrastructure facilities to set up an independent unit. Where SSC claimed exemption under Section 10A in respect of its new unit, since SSC was engaged in site development of software program and programs were delivered at premises of client at work site in foreign country and activities of the SSC finally culminated at work site of the clients outside India, and there was no need for full-fledged infrastructure facility in India. Thus, industrial undertaking of the SSC was independent of all undertaking which it already possessed. SSC was to be allowed exemption under Section 10A on its new unit. Bangalore Tribunal RTC couldn't be considered as conclusive evidence to prove that SSC land was agricultural land. Where SSC claim proceed from sale of an agricultural land as exempt, since RTC produced by SSC could not prove that land sold by SSC was agricultural land, and if any crop was grown upon it during the year. Further, SSC had neither claimed any expenses incurred in carrying out agricultural operation, nor there was any evidence of the agriculture produce having been sold by SSC. Land could not be considered as agricultural land, as same was be treated as a capital asset liable to tax. Next case, Bangalore High Court. Some paid to Research Association to be claimed as revenue expenditure if SSC didn't fulfill condition for section 35. Where SSC gave up its claim of deduction under section 35 subsection 1 on account of scientific expenses paid to a research association as admittedly condition required for claiming such expenditure under said section was not satisfied by SSC. Since there was no dispute that the said expenditure was incurred in ordinary course of the business, tribunal was right in allowing alternate claim of the SSC towards scientific expenses under section 35 subsection 1 as revenue expenditure under section 37 subsection 1. Next case, Mumbai Tribunal, excess interest earned as taxable as other sources income if borrowed fund used for the non-business purposes. In this case, where SSC firm utilizes interest-bearing funds for overdrawing of the capital by its partner, rate of interest received by SSC firm from its partner, which was in excess as comparison to rate on which the funds were raised or borrowed by firm from third parties, same was liable to be assessed as income of the SSC firm from other sources. Where the SSC developer for the purpose of the valuation of its closing stock by way of unsold area of the land included certain expenses on ad hoc basis, expenses to be incurred up to completion of the project, worked out cost per square meter of the land at certain amount, but then SSC reduced aforesaid estimated expenses from aforesaid value of closing stock, and by doing so, scaled down its value of the closing stock. SSC, by including an amount of the said stock, had already express value of the closing stock, thus impact valuation of the closing stock was to be rejected. Where the assessee offer income from the sale of the two flats in previous assessment year 2008 and 9, since admittedly agreement to the sale for the said flat were executed on 23rd May 2008, that is relevant to the year assessment year 2009-10. Further, assessee architect also acknowledged that the construction of the said flat was completed during the assessment year 2009-10. Revenue from the sale of the said flat was to be recognized during the relevant year 2009-10. Further decision held in this case where SSC entered into a sub-development agreement with a sub-developer for redevelopment of a slump rehabilitation project. Since from the perusal of the terms and condition of the sub-development agreement, it was clearly revealed that SSC was obligated to construct tenants occupant building at cost of the developer. In fact, order amount received by the SSC from the sub-developer towards reimbursement of the expenses incurred toward the site construction could not be treated as its income from other sources. So, in nutshell, one major decision is taken that excess interest earned in the tax is taxable as other sources income if borrowed fund used for the non-business purposes. Next ruling, Pune Tribunal, no section 194(a) TDS was required if interest paid to the person who were duly admitted as member of the cooperative bank. In this case, where the SSC cooperative bank made payment of the interest to the HUF and unregistered firms, since both of the these entities were members of the SSC admitted by way of an application made by them to the bank and then passing a resolution to extent of their admission as a member of the bank in its board of director meeting, no deduction of the tax source was to be made under section 194(a) on such payment of the interest. CBDT order dated 30 September 2020. In this order, CBDT further extend due date of the filing of the ITR for assessment year 2019-20 to 30th November 2020. Earlier, this date is the 30th September, and before earlier 31st July and extended by 30th September, and now further extended by 30th November 2020. Considering the difficulty faced by the taxpayer due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the CBDT has further extended the due date for filing of the revised and belated income tax return for assessment year 2019-20 from 30th September to 30th November 2020. CBDT extend time limit for compulsory selection of the returns for the complete scrutiny to the 31st October 2020. Further, Mumbai Tribunal held in a case that holding of the seminar by trust isn't a business activity if it was held with the sole intent of the attaining object of the trust. Where the association trust set up to address national issues relating to the real estate sector, earn revenue from the activities of the holding convention exhibition, since activities that were carried out by the SSC were with the sole intent of the attaining object for which the trust was established. Activities of the SSC could not be hit by exclusion carved out in definition of the charitable purpose in section 2 clause 15, and as such SSC was eligible for exemption under section. Further, Delhi High Court short-term capital gain losses rightly disallowed as SSC investing only in high-risk stock of the company with no business activities. Where SSC was not a regular investor in shares and had invested only in high risk stock of the obscure companies with no business activity or asset which were identified as a penny stock. AO had correctly calculated that SSC had entered into a pre-arranged same transaction as to convert unaccounted money into accounted money in case of capital loss. Alleged short-term capital loss was rightly disallowed. Another case, Bombay High Court set aside a reassessment initiated by the assessing officer on mere change of the opinion, where the assessee during the assessment submitted that it had transferred equity share of the G to its related entity at a nil consideration to consolidate offshore onshore media asset, including share of the listed companies, and requested to treat said transfer as gift, not liable to tax under section 45, and AO pass assessment order accepting said claim, but after more than 4 years, section 148 notice was issued to the assessee on basis of the CIT appeals decision in the case of the group entity that the said transfer was nothing but colorable device, since communication between assessee and the AO clearly demonstrate that assessee had disclosed all primary facts regarding said transfer during the assessment. It was a clear case of the change of the opinion, and thus section 148 notice could no longer survive. Another case, Bombay High Court, some paid to the BMC for increasing floor space index is not a commercial right and should be added in cost of building. This is an important case. Some paid to the BMC increasing floor price space index is not a commercial right and added in the cost of building for calculating capital gain. Another update, the President gives assent to the Taxation and Other Law Relaxation and Amendment of the Certain Provision Act 2020. The Taxation and Other Law Relaxation and Amendment of the Certain Provision Act 2020 has received the assent of the President. The Act makes a necessary amendment and insert new provisions to enforce all the announcements made in the ordinance and through press release during the last couple of the month. Further, various new provisions have been inserted to enlarge the scope of the faceless proceedings. Supreme Court is dismiss a special leave petition filed against ruling setting aside addition as no incriminating material found during the search procedure. Supreme Court held that where the High Court upheld tribunal order setting aside addition made by the assessing officer under section 153A on ground that said addition was not based on any incriminating material found during the course of the search, a special leave petition filed against said order was to be dismissed due to low tax effect. CBDT issue order on 29 September. In this order, CBDT authorizes Income Tax Authority to upload information relating to GST return in Form 26AS. This is important decision taken by the CBDT in exercise of power under Rule 114I. The CBDT has authorized the principal DGIT systems or the DGIT system to upload information relating to GST return, which is in his possession in the annual information statement in Form 26A. Such information is to be uploaded within 3 months from the end of the month in which the information is received by him. Another case, Supreme Court dismissed SLP against ruling wherein the reassessment was set aside by the holding that it was change of the opinion. Another decision taken by the Kerala High Court, payment of the subscription of membership fee to club on behalf of the employee is deductible expenditure. Let's cover news on the international taxation. Some paid for the acquiring copyrighted software couldn't be taxed as the royalty. And second decision taken by the Mumbai tribunal, in this case, ITAT refer matter to the larger bench to examine meaning of the paid appearing in the Article 11 of the Indo-Cyprus GTA. Let's cover news on the transfer pricing. Bangalore tribunal, no transfer pricing addition towards royalty if the assessee didn't charge any sum over and above from selling price from the associated enterprises. Next case on transfer pricing, Delhi tribunal. Transfer pricing adjustment in respect of the AMP expenses be restricted by applying RPM instead of the bright line test. Let's cover news on the goods and service tax. CBIC notification 69 upon 2020 issued on 30th September. Extension in the time limit for the furnishing of the annual return and reconciliation statement for financial year 2018-19 to 31st October 2020. Government has further extended time limit to furnish annual return form GSTR 9, 9A and reconciliation statement from GSTR 9C for GST audit for the financial year 2018-19 from September 30, 2020 to October 31st, 2020. Next, CBIC issued circular on 30th September 70 upon 2020 determining criteria for applicability of invoicing has been changed. Export are also covered. This notification, government has made changes in the provision of invoicing wherein a registered person having aggregate turnover in any preceding financial year from 17-18 onwards exceeding 500 crores shall be required to comply with e-invoicing provision. Further, export invoice could also be subject to this compliance. GST, NA, National Anti-Profiting Authority, seller guilty of the profiting for not increasing price of the cinema ticket despite rate reduction. Another case, Supreme Court decision, no increase in the custom duty for import from the Pakistan where bill of the entry is presented before issuance of the notification. In this case, custom duty was increased from nil to 200% for all import from the Pakistan with effect from 16th December 2019 for which the notification was uploaded at 8:46 8 p.m. After 8 p.m. The appeals court dismissed the appeal of the Union of India and held that the increased rates of custom duty shall not be applicable for bill of entry presented before the issuance of the notification. So, no increase in the custom duty for import where bill of entry is presented before the issuance of the notification. Supreme Court held in this case. Let's cover on the news on the company law. MCA General Circular 31 upon 2020 dated 29 September. MCA allow companies to create a repayment reserve of a deposit maturing during the financial year 2021 till 31st December 2020. MCA further extended the timeline till 31st December 2020 for creating the deposit repayment reserve of the 20% of the deposit maturing during the financial year 2020-21. Also, the requirement under Rule 18 of the company's share capital and debenture Rule 2020 14 to invest or deposit at least 15% of the amount of debenture maturing in a specified method of the investment or deposit is also extended till 31st December 2020. SEBI news, SEBI notification dated 28 September. SEBI amend ICDR norms relaxes provision relating to the right issue. SEBI notifies SEBI ICDR Fourth Amendment Regulation 2020 amendment provision provide major relief for the right issue having value less than 50 crores. Rights to by a listed issuer where the aggregate value of the issue is below 50 crores is out of the ambit of the SEBI ICDR norms. Now listed entities issuing right shares where aggregate value of the issue is below 50 crore is not required to comply with the provision of the SEBI ICDR norms. Thank you so much for watching a news desk on the income tax, GST and corporate law. There is a lot of changes in last 2 days on income tax, GST, and last week there is a lot of amendment or issue circular on the MCA side. So please share among the professional colleagues and the students so that they can get a regular updation on the income tax, GST, corporate law, SEBI, international taxation, and transfer pricing. Thank you so much.